Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of FooTea Fantasy podcast where we discuss football and FPL over a cup of tea. I'm your host Shouvik and I'm joined by my co-host Shourav. Shourav, you must be in great spirits this weekend. You had an amazing score in your FPL team. How are you doing?
Yeah, this was an amazing week, both in terms of FPL and obviously the game between City and Arsenal. It was great.
Yeah. We'll get
How about you?
into the matches. Yeah, my for me also, I think the weekend was not too bad. I scored above average, just 69 points. Uh, so quite happy with it, a green arrow. Um, but yeah, overall the weekend was very good in terms of football as well. Was quite entertaining all the matches. So let's have a overview of the results before we get into each match and the discussions on that. So anything that in this results, sure of any results that stand out to you that you thought was an upset or maybe not expected?
No, it's nothing was an upset, but yeah, the Chelsea win was kind of predicted, yet the clean sheet wasn't. West Ham were really poor. Another score that was kind of unpredictable was the Fulham 3 and Newcastle not doing anything. And obviously the City Arsenal game. We didn't expect 4 goals from it. And now that's a segue into our next topic, which is the City Arsenal game and our topic for the spot.
Def Definitely the clash of the Titans that ended in a draw, but what a match! Saurav, you are an Arsenal fan. I will let you take the stage here. What a match! What an entertainment! And a little unfortunate that few refereeing decisions went. I think on either way went a little uh, on in the gray areas. So why don't you take us? How what you made of the game?
I mean, there's plenty to talk about in this of this game. So it started. The action started from the first second with Havertz bumping into Rodri. That started the drama, and then Haaland getting a goal in the near post, which was kind of an oversight from both Gabriel and Saliba. I mean, they could have done better. They're far better defenders than how they defended. But yeah, and then the next story uh, unfolded into something that we were not expecting.
Yeah, before we get into that, till that first goal and the start of the game, that the start was bizarre. I mean,
Yeah.
it felt like Rodri actually went a little to his left and bumped into Havertz. I think they were trying to play mind games, both the teams, right from the word go. And the Haaland goal you mentioned about Arsenal's defense, but how impressed were you with Savio? I was very impressed with how Savio was playing in that first half and how he cut open that defense with that pass. Maybe Partey could have done a little better to close him a little earlier. That, but what a pass from Savio. What did you make of Savio's game?
I mean, Savio no doubtly impressed us from day one when he started. I mean, he's like Mahrez reborn with the same jersey number and the same style of play with his left foot. So the way Savio took the ball, cut inside, and created a pass, it was opened up the defense, and especially Gabriel and Saliba didn't expect that. So you could see Saliba looking at the second attacker and Gabriel trying to judge Haaland. I mean, that was a combination of timing and an oversight from both the defenders that led to that goal. I mean, there are different factors like Raya could have covered the near post better, but again, I mean, Arsenal is an astute defense. We know there can be. I mean, it was a moment of lapse from them, but yeah, it was a great goal.
Yeah, you can as soon as Savio got the ball and made just before he played the pass, you could I don't know about whether you felt the same or not, but I could just see Haaland making that run, and you could see that gap between Gabriel and Saliba, and uh, Haaland just trying to exploit that, and that pass was on. Just a split second before that pass was played, you could actually spot that a space has opened up, which is very unlike Arsenal. And Raya's positioning was a little bizarre. I felt he was quite quite a way off his goal line, and I thought a little in no man's land. Not exactly no man's land, but a little out of position is what I felt. Uh, Took them by surprise, which was unexpected. But
Yeah, I mean, a Haaland goal was expected, but not at that moment. I mean, that came suddenly, and the first thing that goes through your mind seeing that is that now Haaland has opened the floodgates. Luckily, it didn't turn out that way, but yeah.
yeah, Haaland was looking sharp at that point, and he looked charged up for the game. He had uh, that game face on. Really, really impressed with Haaland's movements and his fitness this season. But the game turned. I mean, City in the lead, and suddenly a free kick quickly taken by Arsenal, and we'll come to what the refereeing decision and the implications could have been. We'll discuss that as a separate segment, all the refereeing uh, issues in this match, which was a shame because this was a high quality, high octane first half, which was completely ruined in the second, and a goal of the caliber that Calafiori gave us, that goal to have a refereeing asterisk attached to it is a real shame, is what I feel. But what a finish from Ricardo Calafiori! It gave me Gareth Bale vibes when he used to come down from that left flank and gave us some great memories of amazing finishes. But what a finish from Calafiori! Did you expect that from your
Absolutely.
left back?
No one was expecting that. I mean, Calafiori does produce a lot of bangers. I mean, you can see him play in the Euro. He's an exceptional ball carrier. I mean, that's the reason Arteta brought him in the first place. But a banger in a match against City wasn't expected at all. I mean, it was a great goal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nobody. I mean, everybody was pumped. Nobody expected that kind of a finish from Calafiori, but a great goal. Credits to him for that kind of a finish. That shows his ability, and I think it shows what Arsenal have on their hands. So just a glimpse of it. So very, very impressed with Calafiori. His defending is also very good. I mean, all through the first half and the second half, he was a very solid defender. I
But
didn't see.
Savio did give him a hard time. I mean, but Savio is again a different sort of a player.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much better he'll face than Savio in this Premier League, but he did well. Uh,
Yeah.
there's nothing to complain about. I mean, even that Savio's pass, it was not played from sort of Calafiori's territory. It was more of party territory from where Savio was able to play that pass. But yeah, very good. I was very impressed. And then came I think this is always written in the script somewhere, a Gabriel's bullet header and a goal for Arsenal, a 2-1 lead. I didn't expect Arsenal to lead, let alone that equalizer was a surprise, but that lead really took City by surprise, I felt.
So
If you saw just 3-4 minutes prior to that goal, Gabriel had an
there was an early warning. Yeah.
exact same, absolutely copy paste situation, same tactics, same everything the same. And I was so surprised to see Doku trying to defend Gabriel during the first
Yeah.
corner. And I had a friend sitting next to me, and I was like, if Doku is going to defend Gabriel, then we are having a Gabriel goal in this match. And just the
Yeah.
next corner, although Walker was trying to defend Gabriel, but no match, no match. Same set piece, same uh, tactic, and Gabriel gets a goal.
Yeah. So one thing that stood out from that Gabriel corner, I mean, taking Pep into consideration, a sort of a tactic. tactical person he is, he would have had defenders marking Gabriel. You could never expect a Doku to mark Gabriel. And also, when Doku couldn't actually defend against him, Walker came up to him. I mean, that shows that they didn't have a plan against the Arsenal set pieces. And Saka's delivery was on point. I mean, that ball was as close to the far post as possible. And Gabriel's darting run, we have seen it time and again in the previous matches. So yeah, it was something that was written.
It's really it was surprising. You're absolutely on point. To see that on set pieces, City didn't have an actual defender marking Gabriel was surprising. I think maybe they underestimated them a little bit. But in any case, the match completely turned from there. So, what did you make of the Trossard red card? Tell us your views as an Arsenal fan first.
So the 50-second red card. I mean, so before that, let's go back to the free kick from which led to the Calafiori goal. So we saw that Michael Oliver pulled Saka and Walker as captains together, discuss something, and then they went back to their positions. And then there was a controversy that Walker couldn't uh, go back to his defensive line, and Martinelli was left open, and that created that goal. But yeah, still, I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 thing from where I see. I mean, obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I would obviously go against City, but from where I see, the defensive line wasn't placed to defend against Martinelli. It was a Calafiori uh, banger that no one could have stopped it. So I think the Trossard red was an aftermath of this decision. Michael Oliver felt somewhere that the first goal was his mistake, or he him trying to rectify or overanalyze the situation and harshly punishing Trossard was something that I thought. So I mean, we saw that in the first half, Doku putted the ball away. He didn't get a yellow. It was right in front of the referee. Even the commentators were saying the same. That wasn't a yellow, but I mean, there's no consistency again. We have seen it with the Joao Pedro case, with now with Toku. So yeah, the Trossard red was absolutely what would I say, in bad faith.
Yes, that's a scathing attack on Michael Oliver by an Arsenal fan. I can understand. The emotions are not dying down anytime soon. But yeah, I agree on a couple of things. First is the consistency because Doku did a similar thing and he didn't get a yellow card. I saw the explanation to that later on by the PJML, and they said Doku actually kicked the ball towards the place where the free kick was supposed to be taken from, but I don't find that satisfactory. I don't know Michael Oliver. Why would Michael Oliver feel that he was responsible for the first goal? Because after the goal went in, the VAR had a check and they confirmed that the defense had reset and they had enough time to reset.
Yeah.
So he actually had no such. Uh, I mean, he didn't have any such guilt to carry, so that to say. And the thing that surprised me the most about Trossard's second yellow was the time between his whistle and the time that Trossard actually kicked the ball. And he just didn't kick the ball away. He was trying to release Martinelli on the left wing. And I saw somewhere that it was only about zero point 0.5 seconds or something from the time the whistle blew to the time Martinelli kicked, which is very less for a player playing with that kind of an intensity. I mean, I think the rules
And
have
that
to
too in
be,
such a match.
yeah, I think rules are rules. Okay, you're going by the letter, but uh, some common sense must prevail, or else the game will suffer. And again, when you say you're following the laws to the letter, the same thing, a similar thing happened last season when Kovacic tackled Odegaard, and same referee didn't even show him a yellow card, and it was a stud up tackle. Many were
Yeah.
saying it was a red card tackle. let alone a yellow card. And that time the explanation was that he didn't want to ruin the game. So there's no consistency. You're absolutely on point. We've seen this too many times, and twice with Arsenal in a space of three Premier League games is unbelievable. It seems like too much of a coincidence. I'll not say anything more, but yeah,
Yeah, let's not go into that topic
yeah,
again.
yeah. But yeah, even as a neutral, I was watching this game, but that completely ruined the game, and it was unnecessary. Really, it was the ball was not even there to for the free kick to be taken quickly. So I don't know what sense it makes. You can give 100 explanations, but it doesn't make any sense to me. But come second half, the game completely changed. I mean, Saka went out, Ben White came in, and we saw what was it? I think a 6-3-0 formation from
Yeah,
Arsenal, and they gave a I mean,
it was a 5-4. Yeah.
yeah, you can criticize it as much as you want. I thought it was a defensive masterclass. I am a Chelsea fan. I have seen defensive games being played, and we've won Champions League playing defensive game. There's not only one way to play football. There are ways to play football, and this is one of the ways, whether you like it or not. And defense is an art. No, not many people can defend 45 minutes against the attack like City. So I was absolutely thrilled to see that. I was impressed, and I thought this was an Arteta masterclass. What did you make of your team?
Yeah, Mourinho would have been proud. I mean, so yeah, Arteta makes good subs. He took out Saka, brought in Ben White. So he used the physicality of Havertz up top and Martinelli space. So that was kind of a textbook Mourinho style of setting up the defensive formation. That was pretty good. So we knew Arsenal was an astute defense. This showed how good they can be. I mean, the last goal was kind of very upsetting, but yeah, still it was a match to be proud as Arsenal fans.
Yeah, that's true. As they say, it was a draw, but I think Arsenal can hold their head high, and this shows they're a quality team who can compete for the title. I think this is all that we have. It was a great match, great contest, this match leaves you looking forward to the return to the next fixture, which is Arsenal versus City at the Emirates. I think that will be a high octane match again. Uh, so moving on from this, our other title contender, Liverpool, had a fairly comfortable match at home to Bournemouth. Di- Luis Diaz, 2 goals. Is he now the main man in this Arne Slot system?
I again won't go deep into this because we covered it in the last part. Arne Slot prefers his left wing and his right wing to play much forward than his number nine. So it's either Luis Diaz or Saka Halling, and in some cases we have seen both. So yeah, Luis Diaz is at a very good state currently, and yeah, I think he will continue to do well throughout the season, even if he gets substituted at the 60-65 minute.
Yeah, he looks confident. He's enjoying his game. This is watching Luis Diaz play is giving me vibes of how I felt watch Foden last season, especially at the start of the season. I remember watching Foden against Newcastle. I think it was game week 3 or 4 of City versus Newcastle, and great. I mean, I saw Foden and I was like, this guy is going to tear up this season. And Luis Diaz is giving me the same vibes. He's absolutely in his elements. Uh, but another goal that was very well taken was from Darwin Núñez. What a finish! You generally don't associate such good finishes with Darwin, but once in a while he does give us some banger of goals, and this was one of them.
Yeah, it was a left-footed shot from the right wing. I had to double check the jersey number to make sure it wasn't Salah. I mean, it was a typical Salah goal.
Yeah, yeah. It was a quality finish from Darwin Núñez. If he can get up to speed and have the same confidence that Diaz is having right now, I think Liverpool would be near unstoppable with this attack. Uh, in fact, from the three on between the three attackers, Salah was more wasteful. I mean, he even he had a fair few chances to put away, but Salah is missing his boots. I think his finishing boots at this point.
I think he was trying to be less selfish, which was not expected. I mean, he is always selfish, goes for the goals, has a good shot in him, and yeah, it was weird that he didn't take a shot and tried to uh, pass it on to Nunes. So yeah, that was odd and not good for our FPL teams as well.
But Salah's return will come. He can't stay unselfish for long. Such players. He has his own FPL team, so he'll definitely uh,
Yeah,
get us some results. Uh, we have talked enough, I feel, about Liverpool's attack in our previous spots also. One thing that has gone under the radar is Liverpool's defense. I mean, in 5 game weeks, uh, Liverpool have got their 4 clean sheets. I mean, that's stellar defensive record, comparable with Arsenal. Even I think Arsenal have 3 clean sheets uh, this season in 5 game weeks.
yeah.
But Liverpool have got the fourth, and I mean, great going. Do you think we are ignoring their defense, or no one's talking about them enough?
At the beginning of the season, everyone expected Slot to be more of a system, have a systematic approach and a compact defense. So it would have taken time to integrate. Now that he is slowly integrating the players into how or his style of play, the defense is going to be a lot more composed than it was under the Congo style of Klopp. So yeah, I think we are not ignoring defense. Most of us have Trent. He's both an attacker and has the clean sheet capabilities. So yeah, but still, I feel they are leaky at times. Kelleher had an amazing game. I mean, it didn't feel like Allison was missing. He saved a lot of the, I mean, big chances that Bournemouth had. They had a scare. They had a reality check in the first few minutes of the game. But yeah, Kelleher was impressive throughout. So Liverpool is going to improve a lot, and I think yeah, the defense is something to take into consideration.
Yeah, that Semenyo offside goal ruled out. That was a lucky break. So great. Liverpool, I think, would be very happy with the start of the season. One game that they slipped up, but I think they'll be happy with how they've started under Arne Slot. It was surprising to see that Jota didn't come off the bench. Maybe there's an injury there, some kind of knock, because
Could be.
yeah, because you generally don't expect this that Jota didn't come on at all. So we'll see what Arne Slot says in the next presser. And yeah, that's. But if you talk about Bournemouth, I think Semenyo did look lively, and I think Kepa had a good start to the game, made a good few saves in the beginning, but oh my,
And horrible,
that.
yeah, mistake against.
Yes, I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know what he was thinking. This is the same kind of a mistake that I think, if you remember last season, Matt Turner made against Liverpool. He came out to a rushing Mohamed Salah, and it was found in the middle of nowhere. This was a deja vu of that Matt Turner horror show. Kepa, I
and
don't.
Kepa, yeah, and Kepa loves to make mistakes against Liverpool. I remember one Kepa giving a goal to Mane. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it didn't make sense. And Kepa had 3 defenders to cover that. So I don't know why he came out. In case of Matt Turner last season, at least there was no defender. There was the last defender who was chasing Salah. So you could still understand that. But this time around, I can't. I didn't understand why Kepa came out. And even the second goal was Luis Diaz putting it through his near post. So you could argue that he could have done better. So yeah, bad performance from Kepa.
but Bournemouth was good. Their attacking was good. Tavernier got a lot of chances, but his finishing, the volleys he took, wasn't of a high class. So
Yeah. No, even second
yeah,
half they were quite attacking. So Bournemouth could have got a goal. that's there. They could have got a goal.
They have a good manager, so
Yeah,
Bournemouth Bournemouth is good for the season.
yeah. So Liverpool next. Let's discuss Chelsea. We've covered your team. Let's come to an impressive performance from Chelsea. I mean,
Yeah, it was.
who saw that performance? I just thought West Ham and Chelsea, a London derby, would be a little more cagey, and West Ham would put up a fight as they usually do. But I was blown away by how ineffective West Ham was and how well Chelsea were playing. I mean, they this is the first time I thought they're understanding what Maresca ball is all about, and it's starting to take shape. And not to mention Jackson, who suddenly became Didier Drogba 2.0. I mean, what a finish for the second goal, especially. Uh, Absolutely out of his foot finish. You don't expect that from Jackson, and I was so happy for him. And while I wrote this notes, I wrote Didier Drogba 2.0. I later realized that this is the fastest brace that a Chelsea striker has had since Didier Drogba got one in 2005.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so that's a coincidence. But what a finish from Jackson! He was your differential. You must be having a crystal ball this week. I don't know how you foresaw that. So great, great performance from Jackson. Great performance from Chelsea. Uh, what did you make of the game?
Chelsea performing like that was kind of unexpected. So, like you said, Jackson was really impressive. I mean, his first goal was individual performance. I mean, Sancho has an assist, but it's more like the Eric Dyer assist from Son's Puskas goal. And the second goal outside of the boot shot, I mean that was good. I mean, we don't expect Jackson to finish like that. In fact, we were talking about his poor finishing in the last pod. Yeah,
Yeah,
the game was good. It was really fun to watch, especially having Jackson and West Ham being extremely poor. So yeah, we'll come to West Ham later. But what did you make of the rest of the team? I mean, I did see the match, but I'll leave Sancho's, Palmer's analysis to you.
I thought. First of all, I was very impressed. We keep talking about Jackson's finish and his runs, which we always say that Jackson makes good runs. This time he did top it up with excellent finishing. But what impressed me a lot this match was Caicedo's performance as well. That pass for the assist of Jackson, uh, it was a great pass. So the team looked like they understood each other. They were playing on the same wavelength. And Cole Palmer also, he looked much better than how he looked versus Bournemouth. But yes, it is a concern that he was subbed off at 65. I think just before the match, during the presser, Maresca said that he has two right wingers, two left wingers, two number 10s, and two forwards. And he did exactly that. He substituted his attackers at about 55 minutes, then 60, 65 minutes, and he gave them a chance. I think this will become a recurring trend going forward, that Palmer would be taken off, Jackson would be taken off, Sancho would be taken off, sometimes Madueke will be taken off. So he'll give minutes to all his attackers. Chelsea have a plethora of attackers, we know that. But what was very I mean, confidence inspiring was that the players seemed on the same wavelength, and it was a complete performance. They hardly gave West Ham a chance, although West Ham in themselves are very poor. But yeah, Chelsea was good, very good.
Now, coming to West Ham, what the only players that stood out was mostly Kudus. He was always attacking. I mean, he's always dribbling past players. He has that capability. He's a speedster, but he didn't get a lot of chances or players around him to play the ball.
Yeah, Kudus was making. He was laborious. He was making those runs to the byline and the touch line, when you would have thought the ball will go out, he was actually chasing those balls down and crossing it across the face of the goal, but there was nobody there.
And especially that defense. That defense uh, looked horrible. So something that we talked about in the last part as well. That defense, that they always tend to play a high line, leave gaps between the two CBs, and weirdly, the CB that they recently bought, Todibo, from the French league, he's not starting. So
And he's a very good player. He was one of the Marquee signings. I mean, everybody was impressed and partly shocked that they have signed Todibo. Todibo, for those who don't know, is a very highly rated French centre back. I mean, French team has uh,
a
a
lot of good,
plethora of
yeah.
good defenders, and that's why we probably don't see him for the national team. But he is a very highly rated centre back and very talented centre back at that. I don't know why he's not starting. I mean, he's a physical defender. He has that physicality to uh, compete in Premier League. And even though with such a leaky defense, I don't see what else could go wrong if you bring in Todibo. I mean, he's a really good defender. Maybe there's some internal, maybe he's injured, maybe he has a knock. I don't know, but I can't seem to find a logical answer to why Todibo is not playing.
Okay. So ending. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and just to touch upon the new manager appointment at West Ham. I mean, Moyes, everybody said Moyes we know is a good has a good defense as a manager. I mean, you don't expect Moyes teams to be bad in defense. And when they bought in Lopetegui, even he has a reputation that precedes him that he's a very good manager in terms of setting up his defenses. Very surprising from West Ham. So that's what I wanted to touch upon. That this must be equally surprising for Lopetegui.
Yeah. So when do you think he gets sacked?
If this is the performance, I'll give him 2 or 3 game weeks max. I think because they're really struggling. They can't. I mean, there's no performance. Sometimes you have a poor string of results, poor luck. Uh, just like I'd say how Wolves are playing right now. They're playing well, but their fixtures are tough. But West Ham is just they're all at sea. So if things don't improve soon, I think 2 or 3 game weeks.
Okay. Now coming on to the next match,
Yeah,
which again,
I think Sancho was sold to Chelsea, and now Man United are actually missing probably Sancho to finish their chances because they're creating a lot. This game, Crystal Palace versus Man United, I think it is one of the most bizarre matches that you would see this weekend because Man United created so many chances in that first half. They completely dominated Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace in the first half was nowhere to be seen, and Man United were attacking in waves, one after the other. But how did they not score? Garnacho hit the post, and Bruno
Bruno hit
Fernandes
the post.
on
Yeah,
that
on the
follow up.
follow up.
Yeah, and so many chances. This is just one of them, and they created so many chances. Garnacho created so many chances himself. Zirkzee did well in the first half. No clue why United couldn't score, and yeah, I think this became the theme of the match. Second half, I think as the match went on, and towards the fag end, Crystal Palace clawed back a little in the game, and Eze had 2 great chances. Such one of them was such it was put on a platter for him, and he couldn't hit the target.
That was a big miss.
Yeah, and this has been Eze's story this season. He has been getting chances, but he's not finishing them off. I don't know. This is not something we see with Eze. Eze is a clinical finisher.
Yeah. So this game was more of a clash between the goalkeepers. I mean, it was an excellent performance from the two keepers. We didn't expect either of them to keep a clean sheet. In fact, we predicted a draw, but a 1-1 draw, not a nil-nil.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And you don't. Both the defenses have been poor, and you don't expect a clean sheet. And this game didn't have a clean sheet. I mean, This result does not show what the match was about. This match had two or three goals either side. So yeah, lucky result for the defenders, but both I think both the teams need to take their chances, and both the teams are at a similar place in their journey this season. They're just not clicking that much in attack. They like their attack to do much better, and defense as well.
Yeah. So this, yeah, they are both kind of volatile teams. We mentioned about Crystal Palace chopping and changing their line. I mean, Mateta sub at half time wasn't expected at all. So yeah, well, I think these two teams uh, are kind of at an unpredictable stage, and let's see what happens in the season.
Yeah, both of them I think wait and watch. And then speaking of poor attacks, I think Newcastle would probably be rated at number one because I don't know what has happened to this team. If you remember, 2 seasons back, Newcastle had the best defense in the league. I mean, we have been talking about Arsenal's defense since last season and this season, but the season before the last, Newcastle had an elite defense. And if you look at it, it was the same personnel. Shar, Burn, uh,
Yeah, but they had Trippier playing throughout, so his attacking kind of influenced the defense a lot,
yeah, but he
and it
started this
wasn't.
game. He started this game, no?
Yeah, this game, but I don't think the entire team. Again, the defense has been changing.
Yeah.
So the right back, I mean, Livermento has been playing. Then Trippier has been coming in on the left back. There has been Hall and Kelly rotating. So yeah, the defense is not stable. Shar getting that red card has been quite uh, unstable for the past like what 4 5 game weeks.
And but still, at least their attack is the same. I mean, look at their attack, and they're absolutely. It feels like you have put 11 players who don't know each other on the field. They can't find each other. They can't get string together few attacking passes and make some moves. I mean, Fulham looked so much better. They had such great balls, through balls, crosses, created a plethora of chances. And Raul Jimenez, I mean, Fulham were actually creating chances since game week one, but Muniz was not finishing them off.
Wasteful.
Yeah, he was very wasteful. There was a stat which said Muniz scored one goal from 35 shots
Yeah.
in the box, and that is a horrible stat for a striker. And Raul is taking his chance. He got his chance last week. He scored this game week. He scored. ESR, beautiful finish. Although you could argue Pope could have done a little better again on his near post. I don't know why goalkeepers are getting beaten on the near post this season. But yeah, still a great goal. They created many more chances. Traore looked like a handful. I mean, they couldn't control Traore, Newcastle. And
It's yeah, it's a I mean rebirth of the Traore Raul combo from Wolves.
yeah, those are some memories. Traore running down from a wing and putting it for Raul Jimenez. Yeah. So, anyways, but I don't think there's much to talk about. Newcastle, poor in attack, poor in defense. If in terms of FPL, if you have their assets, just let them go now. Wait and let them get better. But Fulham, yeah, uh, good team, but fixtures turn a little bit. Let's see how they do. But they're a team that are performing well right now.
And they have the Hayland boys, Smith Rowe and Nelson. So yeah, they're bound to do good.
Oh, they have a lot of ex-Arsenal players. They have Iwobi, they have ESR, they
EOB,
have
obviously. Yeah.
Nelson. So they have a
Leno.
oh yeah, Leno. So
Yeah.
that's the Arsenal B team playing right there. Let's move on to this a weird match, Brighton versus Nottingham Forest. I have not seen. I don't know the last time I saw red cards to both managers. This is beyond bizarre. What happened in this match in the second half? But the important thing, Chris Wood on penalties. Who predicted that? Everybody thought Morgan Gibbs White was the penalty taker in that team. How what did you make of Nottingham Forest's attack?
So I'm not a fan of Nuno's attack, but yeah, he always prefers a striker. It was Raul in the Wolves team. It's Wood in this team, and I think that's the entire reason the penalties are going to Wood. So yeah, they have that that focal point who's that's Chris Wood, and everything's directed to him. So Wood will score a lot of goals this season. But like we thought that the goals would have been spread across to Callum Hudson-Odoi or Gibbs White. It wouldn't be the case. Mostly on counter attacks, Hudson-Odoi or Elanga could score, but it's mostly Wood. So
Yeah,
yeah, he's kind of a great pick in FPL as well.
and he's prolific inside the box. I mean, he can't he doesn't do too many
Gets a lot
things.
of chances.
Yes,
He's always around the 6 yard box, ready for a tap in or a header.
yes,
So
he's like that those proper nine target mans who are just there. You get the ball to them and they'll just put it inside. So good, and he has that physical presence in the box as well. And Brighton, we saw João Pedro and Minte on the bench. We talked about this last pod. I said I was concerned about Minte because he played midweek about 82, 86 minutes, and that's exactly what happened. Minte on the bench, João Pedro coming back from injury. On the bench, do you think João Pedro is on the bench to manage his injury, or do you think there's a concern there? There's rotation there.
I mean, there might have been some knock that he was managing, but he did look knackered in this game. I mean, he had a clash. After that, he took some time to get used to. So Joe Pedro is kind of an iffy spot because they have Rooter and other players who can take up. Ferguson is back. He's playing. He's in good form now. So yeah, that position is kind of iffy.
Yeah, they have Duda as well, and yeah. Uh, And it was the tackle from Morgan Gibbs White which got him a second yellow and the red. That tackle was on João Pedro, and João Pedro, yeah, did look knackered. Uh, but Welbeck, on the other hand, had a good game. I felt that free kick was an absolute worldly. I mean, very good, very nicely taken free kick. And early in the second half also he almost cut through the entire defense and
Yeah,
scored a goal, which was a great save from Sels, but Welbeck just cut through their entire defense, which you don't expect from Nottingham Forest.
yeah, Welbeck is on red hot form right now. So, I mean, that free kick was really, we could argue that Sales could have saved it, but yeah, it was beautifully placed.
And I don't think Welbeck gets replaced by Ferguson anytime soon. I think Welbeck is in a
He'll start.
hot streak. Yeah, Welbeck will start. Ferguson may start the cup games and everything, but Welbeck is not going anywhere from this team.
Yeah, Ferguson needs to build up his fitness, but yeah,
Yeah,
Welbeck
yeah,
is surely a starter.
yeah. So let's move on from this. I don't think much to talk about in Brighton. Spurs, Brentford. Brentford have developed a knack of scoring early goals. 20 seconds against City, some seconds against Spurs again. Boomo with a great finish. That was a very well taken goal.
Yeah, Bumo showing his class.
Yeah, he's important to that team. We have known that, and now he's the main man. So uh, Brian Mbumo, great goal, a great finish. But that was it from Brentford. After that, it was all Spurs, and Brentford actually made it a lot easier for them. So many mistakes at the back. They were trying to pass and play their way out from their defenses, and so many misplaced passes. They could have considered more the way they were
Yeah,
giving the ball away in the box. And the first
the
goal for
defense.
Solanke also came like that.
Yeah, the defense was horrible. I mean, we would expect Van de Beek to be good, but he shows that inexperience at times. That's and yeah, I think they were playing a five at the back system, but still they didn't have a good defense. So that was really, I mean, poor from the defenders. But in fact, Flecken had a good game. He made quite a lot of good saves.
But
Uh,
that's a very poor defense. You actually don't expect that from Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank's teams are good defensively, but I don't know what's going on with them. Ben Mee is on the bench. I'm not sure why he's not playing. Is he injured? Is he coming back from an injury? Do you have any idea?
yeah, he's coming back from an injury. He was nursing it, but yeah, I think Ben Mee is a big miss. Once he comes back, he brings a lot of stability there. I mean, we have seen him in Burnley, so that kind of experience is definitely required.
Yeah, and another we were talking about refereeing decisions in Arsenal versus City,
Uh,
but this match had another controversial moment. Vicario lunged into a ball, went outside the box, handled it. I don't know
yeah,
how VAR doesn't spot it. There's a
not just far. Even the linesman could have spotted it. I mean, it was clear and obvious.
yes. There's a meme that came out about this match which showed the VAR officials playing Fortnite, and I think that might be true actually, the way it is going. I mean, I don't know how you don't spot that. This is just ridiculous at this point. But yeah, uh, another interesting thing, we all thought Sade is going to start, but we saw Carvalho and he had a good game. He made uh, quite a few chances, could have had a couple of assists. So, do you think he's starting ahead of Sade or is there rotation there?
I think there is still rotation there. Expect Carvalho to start. Lewis Potter on the left is more of a Thomas Frank guy. He always crosses in the ball. He has uh, good, let's say, he's kind of press resistant. He doesn't let go of the ball. So Lewis Potter is more important to the game as compared to Sade. So it would be a rotation between Carvalho and Sade at this point.
Yeah, unsure of that. So I think Spurs had a good game. Solanke got a goal. Madison was very lively. Son again, he's drifting in and out of the game, so I don't know what is going on with Son. But Madison looked really handful.
Madison
Solanke,
had a good game.
yes. And one thing that I keenly observed was uh, that Pedro Porro is not being as effective since Kulusevski and Madison have both started being in the starting 11 because both of them are so attacking that Pedro Porro is not able to go that much forward. So that has changed from the first few weeks, and this is in terms of FPL. I don't think it's something to panic, but it is something to keep an eye on because Pedro Porro is not able to go and attack as much as he would love to or he used to because
Yeah.
that space is taken up by Kulusevski.
Even though Madison is playing deep, but he's still going forward, creating a lot of chances, and Madison loves to take a shot even from outside the box. So that kind of dents Bordeaux's appeal.
Yeah, and I saw a very surprising stat today that after Haaland, the next player in the entire league to have the highest goal involvement expectancy is James Madison. I didn't expect that at all. I don't think anybody would have guessed it. So Madison is one to look and keep an eye on. We all, if you remember last season, we all had Madison or Son in our teams, and Madison did extremely well in the first 7, 8 game weeks before he picked up an injury and then his season kind of fell away. So
Yeah.
you can keep an eye on him. So let's move on from Spurs, Brentford. I think that covers it all. Aston Villa and Wolves. I think it's the same story for both Wolves and Aston
Both.
Villa. Wolves, they get their goal, but they can't defend their lead. Aston Villa, I think they wake up and they remember that they have to play a competitive football match at halftime, and then they come out and play a good match in second half. And I think they stopped playing first half well because they know John Duran will just come in the second half and get them their goal.
Yeah, it has been a trend, like him playing for like 20, 25 minutes and then scoring a goal every time.
Yeah, and I don't understand. Every time you think this is not good, this has to stop, right? At some point, and every game week you think, no, this is not happening this time. And still, I think Duran is on some kind of a streak. I think I don't know how if he keeps going on like this, it must be some kind of a record. You have to check probably, but.
It reminds me of that super sub Checo era. So he always used to come
Yeah.
up from the City bench and score a goal.
Yes, Edin Dzeko. He couldn't go into starting 11 because Kun Aguero was there. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's on point. So Morgan Rogers got 2 assists. I think this has less to do with Morgan Rogers and more to do with Watkins and everybody else coming up to speed with their finishing because he was creating chances. We spoke about this in the last pod.
yeah.
So this was due to him, and he's a very unselfish player. The second assist that he gave to John Duran, he could have taken the shot, but he just squared it to him. You mentioned it last time. He's a very good team player and a very good player in general. And in FPL for 5.2 million now, I think he's a great asset to have in your team. Don't overthink it. You won't get much more from a 5 million asset. Although Luca Dean got subbed off at halftime, did that concern you, Shourav?
Absolutely. I mean, Dean is a world class troll. So he has not only been subbed off, he gave away clean sheets at the 95th minute by scoring an own goal. So yeah, Luca Dean getting subbed off absolutely concerns me. I
He
mean,
has an FPL heritage.
he's going out of my team as in the first chance that I get.
You just bought him in your wild card.
Yeah, yeah, I was chasing the upside. I mean, he did get an assist last game, but yeah,
That's the Luka doing troll. That's
Dean's
the trap that
team.
you fell into.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing more to talk about. Wolves leaky. Wolves need to get better. Their attack is very good. Counter attack is very good, but they need to get better
And with
defensively.
Mosquera injured, I think Wolves'
Yeah, that
defense is going to get worse.
Muscara's injury looked bad. I think he'll be out for a long time. That looked really bad. Oh, it was talking of injuries. I think we missed Rodri's injury. But that might, if that's a long one, City will have a difficult time this season.
Yeah, that I think we can talk about the FPL implications of it. We have seen City play without Rodri and how it will impact other players around him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a discussion for next time.
Yeah, for sure. Leicester Everton, not much to talk about the match in general. Leicester, they're really poor. I think for all those people who were promoting Vardy, you need to go and watch this match. He had absolutely no chances in this match. Leicester didn't create anything. Probably they created one or two chances from which Mavdidi scored. Mavdidi has scored in 2 matches back to back, and he's the only player that you can probably look at from Leicester, but he comes in the midfield. He's listed as a midfielder in FPL, which is already stacked. So I don't know why you would go for Mavdidi.
And
Leicester,
Mavidid is also a rotation risk because of Fatau. I mean, I
yeah,
expected Fatau and Mavididi to start together, but yeah, I think manager is rotating them.
yeah, and Vardy is a rotation risk because Edward is there. He'll start eating into his minutes. I think Edward will start starting the games going forward, and Vardy will come in as the impact sub. That will suit him more. And the notable thing here was DCL and McNeil. I think Everton deserve to win this game. Actually, if you see this game, they deserve to win it. But they have to sort out their defense. They're really missing Jared Branthwaite, and he's back with the under 21s. But yeah,
He played 90 minutes there, so
yes,
he could be back soon.
yeah. So they really need him back. Once he's back, I think Everton will go back to being a good defensive side. But they need Branthwaite back.
Daesh, yeah, Daesh will play his game.
Yeah, Daesh is a good. Daesh's team is always good for a 1-0 win. They have very good defense, so you have to keep an eye on Everton. And Mikolenko is now 4.3 in FPL. So again, we'll talk about it next time in the next pod. But yeah, DCL had a good game. Had a very big good chance. One very good chance. That was a McNeil assist. Would have been a McNeil assist. McNeil played well at number 10, 5.4 million. People have been talking him up. So if you need a cheap midfielder, he can be an option. Everton have very good fixtures, but yeah, uh, that's that's I think all that we can cover from Leicester and Everton.
I think we just left out one game. That was the Ipswich and Southampton game. It was there's not a lot to talk about. I think Southampton is leaky. Their attack is not good now that uh, Brenton Diaz and Armstrong both are not playing. Just the
Yeah,
standout was Dibbling. Yeah, he's good. That was quite a good first touch and finish.
yeah. Dibbling
But
was very lively against Manchester United also.
yeah, Dibbling was good. Ipswich didn't offer much. So
That was surprising. I thought Ipswich would play a lot better than Southampton, but kind of surprising.
yeah, I predicted an Ipswich win, but didn't happen.
Yeah, I picked Liam Delap as my differential. He gave a 1 point. I don't know what happened to Ipswich. I expected more out of them. Game week 5, I think we have covered all the matches, all the notable events uh, in the spot that we had to touch upon. Game week 6, we are looking forward to already. This is going to be another cracker of a week. Newcastle and Man City, Arsenal, Leicester. I think Arsenal have a couple of good fixtures going ahead now. So uh, again, Man City, you'd expect them to easily win against Newcastle. Brentford, West Ham, that will be interesting. Both the teams struggling defensively, but Brentford much
But
better in attack.
Brentford, yeah, it's a home game for Brentford. I expect Brentford to win
Mm.
with a good margin, in fact.
Yeah, the way West Ham is are playing, if they continue playing that, definitely. Chelsea, Brighton, I expect this to be a very close contest because Chelsea are at home. The irony is Chelsea at home are actually a worse team than they are away. Uh, so Brighton, but on the flip side, Brighton have the manager suspended. So let's see how they do without the manager. Everton, Crystal
Yeah,
Palace. This is another typical nil-nil,
boring game.
1-1. Yeah, I don't think anybody would be tuning into this, but yeah, we can always look out for what's happening. Um Forest Fulham. Do you think that will be
So
close?
with yeah, it will be close only because Gibbs White is missing. I mean, he does a lot of the dirty work there. He creates a lot of chances, and yeah, he always goes for the ball. So Nottingham Forest missing will miss Gibbs White, but it being a home game, they can hold Fulham to a, let's say, 1-1. But Fulham's attack has been impressive.
Yeah, I think
So
it will be a Forest defense versus Fulham attack versus
Newcastle's
New.
attack.
Uh,
Sorry, Fulham's attack.
yeah, I think it will be classic case of that. Wolves, Liverpool. I would love to see Salah attack that Wolves defense from where Noni Madueke did and got 4 goals. So that will be something I'll be hoping that Salah can exploit this time.
Yeah, I mean, by the looks of how Wolves is defending, I would expect so Wosley and McAllister to score as well.
Yeah, with Muscat out, they have another challenge in their hand. Ipswich, Aston Villa, Ipswich away, Aston Villa again. I think what we can definitely predict is another John Duran goal off the bench, uh, and Aston Villa to win in
Watkins
the
doing
second
well.
half. Yeah, and probably Aston Villa not keeping a clean sheet because I don't their
Yeah.
defense just leaks 1 goal somehow.
And
United
it will probably
Spurs.
be Delap scoring.
Yeah, United Spurs. Sure, your thoughts on United Spurs? What do you think?
This could be a like 3-3 game. I mean, both are defensively bad, and they are good at attack. So they are. I mean, they're not the best attacking teams out there, but they are attacking. So Spurs and I predict Delete header against Spurs. I mean, he's a huge aerial threat, and there's no way Spurs can defend it.
Yeah, just like Gabriel did. So yeah, Delete is a good presence in the air. Good. That's a good point. Bournemouth, Southampton. You'd expect Bournemouth to win this quite comfortably. Their attack is good. Maybe they'll probably keep a clean sheet or not. That's another thing. But I expect Bournemouth to sail through this. So I think that's our look ahead to the Game Week 6 fixtures. We'll come out with another pod this week where we will be reviewing the Game Week 6 fixtures again, but from an FPL point of view. So do make sure to tune into that pod as well. Uh, we'll try to release that by Thursday or Friday this week. So just keep an eye out. So this is it from this pod. I think if you are watching this on YouTube, as usual, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment, give us a feedback. Uh, what do you think about our pod? You can also follow us on X at FooTea Fantasy, Instagram, Threads, same handle, FooTea Fantasy. Find us there, connect with us. We'd love to have you on board, as we said. Any last thoughts from you, Shourav?
No, it has been a fun pod. Thanks
Yeah,
for joining, everyone.
yeah. Thank you. See you soon.